What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Nvidia today and super microcomputers today. We're going to talk about both of those stocks. SMCI, I think, is what it is. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, you guys. Let's get into it. Okay, here we are at about $112 on Nvidia stock right now. Looking at this thing on a monthly time frame, man, we got to zoom way the hell out just to get the scope of this thing, how bullish it is. Looking at the monthly RSI, you were overbought for quite a while. What I find rather impressive, right? Okay, let's just understand, right? You've been overbought before. When you came out of the overbought zone here, look at the drop that ensued, right? That was 3 months of just straight decay to the downside. 1 month was down 24% following, you had a little bear market right there for a quarter of a year. Here, when you got out of the overbought zone here, that started your next onslaught. Here, you've been out of the overbought zone since January. It's January, February for the last 2 months, and you've actually been holding up rather well, right? And you were in this overbought zone for a pretty extended amount of time. Even here, once you got overbought, it wasn't that long. I mean, it wasn't even that big of a drop that you had. Something tells me Nvidia is feeling a bit frisky, my friends. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But just looking at this from a high to a low, 2272. Okay, $112. Yeah, maybe you drop down to about $100. Maybe $97 is where you find support. Maybe you could have found your low here. But just looking at the monthly time frame, I think that it would be okay. Nvidia would be okay if it drops to $97. Okay, it would be fine if that happens, and likely you get a nice bounce from that area, but I'm not so sure that you do. I think Nvidia is on a war path, you guys, straight up to $227, maybe even beyond that. Yes, you heard me correctly. I think Nvidia will double in price from here before it sees a more serious correction like it did back here in 2021, like it did back here in 2018, okay? Why do I think that? I think the chart looks too bullish, man. I think you're doing things right now differently than you did the last 2 times, so that makes me think that you're going to do things you're going to continue to do things differently. And beyond all of that, if we look at Nvidia here, it topped off in October of 2018. Or no, sorry, not that cycle. This cycle here, November of 2021. That was the bull market high for crypto, for Bitcoin last cycle. And I know I believe a lot of computer chips that Nvidia makes are used in crypto mining. So this thing topped off at the same time that crypto topped off. That might not be a coincidence at all. It's been lagging, it's been breathing, taking a break, but the crypto narrative is strong right now, you guys. It's very, very strong. I would assume that only implies that there's going to be more hashing power, more mining power, crypto mining, computing power that goes into play, which would mean more demand for things that Nvidia has to offer. And that makes me think, $227 might be where it goes. Yes, Nvidia, what's its market cap right now? That market cap is at, where are we at here? $2.75 trillion, man. $2.75 trillion. And we're talking about a market cap that's like $5.5 trillion. That's crazy. That's crazy, you guys. But that's where the golden ratio is, the double golden extension there. I feel like that's where you're going to find resistance. Probably you're going to build that up throughout the rest of this year. That will be your cycle high, and you will form bearish divergence on your monthly time frame, which will enable you to drop back down to these areas, maybe even below there. But if you were to go lower, again, I think $100 would hold, or 97 at the very lowest, right? Weekly RSI looks a little bit weaker, to be completely fair. You're around the 40 area, which is a nice area to bounce from. In all honesty, I mean, if we look at this here, going back, you've bounced here before. You have found resistance here before. You've bounced here a couple times back here. Not so much respect here, to be completely fair. Bounce right above this area, resistance right there, support just below. It's a somewhat significant area. It's not the most significant area, granted, but it's somewhat significant. And then beyond all that, if we look at the weekly RSI, you're doing something that hints at hidden bullish divergence here, okay? You've got lower lows in the weekly RSI, and then higher lows in the price, if it'll let me, right? If you see from this same period here where you've had your lower lows, you've had nothing but higher lows. Now, what I will say I don't like about Nvidia, at least on the weekly time frame, is the shape that we have now. This almost looks like, to me, as if you're rolling over. Whenever I see this kind of look, that normally is not good. Normally, that's not good. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go lower. I will say the fact that you've got a lot of volume here, a lot of selling volume, it looks like, and you haven't really done anything, you're just still in the same range, that does hype me up a little bit. That does get me excited. Maybe some capitulation was going on here, maybe some short selling, whatever. If we take a high here to a low there, I would assume you got your 382. I mean, that's not necessarily the most immaculate support in this scenario. Let's see. Golden ratio, though. You hit the golden ratio, man. I don't know. Hidden bullish divergence and a golden ratio bounce. A lot of volume, and you really didn't go anywhere. Yes, yes, yes. I'm already dropped 9% last week, 7% the week before. I know you're down a little bit, but I'm not completely convinced that you're done here. Let's see. Daily RSI. Let's delete that and get a better look at this. Daily RSI. You're just reluctant to get oversold, man. And very, very neutral. I think if you were to move lower, you would have shown more bearish readings, and I think you would have probably made more headway by now. So I'm thinking that if this isn't your low, you're very, very near your low. Okay, again, from this low here to this high here, or was it, yeah, that high there. You're at your golden ratio, of which you wicked below, but you're closing right at. I really like that as support, if I'm being honest. I think that's great, actually, to be completely fair. And then from here, from a high here down to this low, we'll see. We'll see. Gotta wait. You're still too early in this trend, really. But if you do move up, the next immediate target would be 168, 190, and pressing higher targets, of course, right? 112 now. The 2272 there is at about 239, maybe even 270 is possible. But I really have a strong feeling you'll probably stop right around $225, maybe 250, something like that at the most. But I got nothing else for you guys. That's oh, right. Super. We're going to talk about super microcomputers too. SMCI, right? Yeah. Daily uptrend in the RSI, looking good, getting overbought, not getting oversold, and you do look like you have some nice support in the RSI. Love it. Love to see that. I always make fun of diagonal lines, but when they can be taken seriously is in the RSI, to be completely fair. Trends, parallel trends in the RSI, because it's capped between 100 and 0. It can't go higher. These things happen a lot more, right? It's very common. So being here at a higher low and then also bouncing off the 40. Nice, buddy. Yeah, that's your low, guys. You're moving up, SMCI, and you're going to have a good week next week. I think so. If we look at this maybe from a low to a high overall, kind of in a weird area to find support, if I'm being honest, but whatever. Sometimes that happens. You can have weird things happen. Low to high. Golden ratio there, though. That's not weird at all. That makes sense to me. I think you're going to find support here, man. I think that you're going to move higher. Let's look at the weekly time frame and see just how much higher we're going to go. You're at 38 bucks now. I would assume you're on your way to prices that are anywhere from $80 to $98, $100. You probably find turbulence there. Pull back down to prices that are about $67 to $58, something like that, right? You'll have a little maneuver and endeavor like this. Up to here in this area, you find resistance here, and then you probably pull back down here and you find support in this area, and then you probably continue on your merry way up to prices that are at $210 to $413. Yes, that's where I think you're going to go. And you could go beyond. You absolutely could go beyond. Something tells me that this thing might be tethered more or less to crypto as well. Or maybe not, man. I guess here in 2021, you weren't affected by the crypto bear market at all. In fact, the bear market was good for you. Man, you've kind of had a bear market already, haven't you? I don't know, man. Maybe it don't stop there. Maybe it goes higher than $413. Let's see what's the market cap on this thing. 20. I mean, you got potential, man. You got potential. You could do a lot. You could definitely do a lot. Yes. I'm saying this thing could do a 10x before everything's said and done. By the end of this year, I don't know. Probably by the end of the year, I would think more so you're closer to like a $200, $277 price, but maybe you're around $300. Maybe you are. I'm not too confident on that one way or another, but I do think you're moving up higher. Yes, I definitely do. I think that you've got a lot of growth to go. So this thing looks good. Definitely good for a longer term hold. If you're looking for a shorter term hold or you're looking for shorter term plays, I would think that something around, what was it, 70 to 90 bucks is probably what's going to happen by the end of April here, probably. 80 to 90 bucks, my bad, 80 to 100 bucks is where I think you'd go. If you were to not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I bet if you were to do a short-term like sell there, you'd probably have yourself set up for a short-term buy at $66 to $58 and then carry on from there. I think that'll be a good pivot. You'll probably find higher lows, higher highs right in this channel. I think it would look good, but I got nothing else for you guys. If you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.